Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Minecrafters of all ages, I'm Jugerite and welcome back to our Minecraft Bedrock Survival Let's Play series. In today's episode, we are going to we're going to go make a Shulker Farm. But another goal in this world is to open all the end gates. And you can't do that without a dragon fight. So rather than wander aimlessly around the end looking for an end city that has, a couple shulkers to build a farm, I think it would be an excellent idea to go to the end, fight the dragon, open a new end gate, and go through there and see how close of an end city we can find to that and make our shulker farm there. So let's get right into the action. Now, for those of you who don't know, in order to respawn the dragon, you place your end crystals on the 4 ends here and that middle block, and you'll see this animation here. Try not to look at any Endermen. The crystals will begin to respawn, and as soon as all of these crystals are respawned, they all go up, and we'll get a boss bar just like that. Whoa, and some dragon's breath. So we gotta take these crystals out. Try not to look at any Endermen. Try not to get killed by the dragon in the process. Sometimes she's like right up in your face and you just have to give her space to avoid that dragon's breath. That stuff is pretty rough. The Endermen make it the most challenging part, in my opinion. Try not to look at them while you're, trying to attack the crystals, or even the dragon for that matter, while she's flying around. If you're good with the bow, the crystals shouldn't be too much of a problem. Not quite sure where the dragon went, but whoa. We're relying heavily on our feather falling 4. The best time to pill her up is probably really when she's perched over there like she is right now, and you just go for it really quick like. Whoa. Are my arrows like literally going through this thing? There we go. Definitely don't want to be up here for that. To get a second one, I doubt we're gonna get a third one, but now the fight is on, and that is definitely, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's all the crystals. Let's get some shots in on her while she's perched. I like to always come right here on the middle when I'm doing these shots. It makes it harder for her to be able to ram me when she gets unperched, and she can't get me with her fire breath. Wait a minute. Is she still attached to one over here? That had to be a visual glitch because she's not regenning. crits in. Man, I want to say she is regenning off that thing a little bit now. Got to be a crystal up here that we're not seeing. Whenever you're doing these boss fights, like, one of the most important thing is to make sure that your hunger is full. That way you're regenning, because that regen is so important to making sure your health doesn't get too low. And there is a crystal here. That's definitely got to be the last one. Yeah, it definitely is. May finish her off here. Nope. Now, another little fun fact, if you do take her out over the portal, a lot of that experience is going to get lost down in the portal when it opens up. We're not necessarily worried about that. And it doesn't look no egg this time, but the portal's back open. And we're good to go. We should have an end gate. There's one. Let's try not to look at these Endermen. This is the end gate we got this time, so we're going to go through here and see where it takes us. Brand new generation, to the best of my knowledge. Unfortunately, we're not right at an end city, which, I mean, can happen, but that's not a problem. Let's just kind of take a look at our surrounding area. It looks like that's going to probably be our best bet directional wise. Unless we have something this way a little bit closer. I don't see anything out off on these islands. So typically what I do is I branch out to the closest one and I take that route and go from there to the next one the same way. Oh, this guy. He's a clever one. And here we are, just a few hundred blocks away. As you can see, I used 2 rockets, and this is why we did what we did. We've got an end city right here. Let's actually just kind of break in, because we got the 2 shulkers there. We're gonna kind of set up like a little base of operations in here. Let's do this number. We're gonna need oh, actually, before we can even do that, I'm gonna have to grow some of these spruce trees. That way we can make some chests and stuff, and we're gonna get ready to get all of these shulkers basically in position for the farm that we're gonna make. And now that we've secured all 3 shulkers, because this city actually had an end ship, we have a backup, another backup elytra. Basically, if you block your view, the shulker's view of you, you can get a chest beside it, get his view blocked so he's not shooting you all over the place. Leave a gap between the chest, and on the other side there, put a block, put a piston against that block, and throw a lever on it and push the chest right into the shulker. He can't see you to, like, I can get right on top of him. He can't see me to do anything, and he's going to stay right there because there's no reason for him to teleport until I break that block he's on. When I break that block, he's gone, and only the chest will remain. But we got that elytra. Let's go ahead and see what other. We got some. We got some Curse of Vanishing stuff here. A few emeralds. I don't really have a shulker with me to throw the stuff in. Oh, a few diamonds. We're going to take that. I'll get this stuff and take it down there here shortly. But yeah, now that the 3 shulkers are all secure, we can, as you can see, I got this one secure too. We can tear down this end chip starting at the bottom. We want to leave, or we can start at the top, but we want to leave all these blocks that the shulkers are on. We do not want to touch. So we would see he's on that block there. So we would basically destroy all these other blocks around it to demolition it, and we would leave that block. These will be the very last, and that'll only be when we're ready to move the shulkers. Let me go ahead and show you again here. We could take this glass, this block, that block, that block. He's on this wall, so we can even we could even get that block there, that block there, and he's not going to go anywhere. The same with this one back here. We can destroy all these blocks around them, as long as we do not destroy the block that he is on. And that's and we want to control where he's teleporting, right? So we'll add in spots according to each one to kind of go with what I have up here. Let's come back here and take a peek. So I've got 5 leaves because they can't teleport to leaves, and then I have a cobblestone, right? So basically I would create a path like that from here to there, and the reason I have the rings around the cobblestone is so that they can only teleport on the other side of that cobblestone. They don't see me coming up. I break the bottom of it, boom, they teleport up to the next level, so on and so on. And we can continuously do that without any problems because they never see me coming until they're already gone, because I'm directly underneath them and all the leaves and everything are obstructing their view. As far as they're concerned, I never get close enough for it to be any kind of issue. So we're going to get this end chip here tore out, and when we get ready to take these guys up, I'll show you exactly how I do that. But before we remove this end chip, we do have to get back up there and actually build the farm, because we basically right now I just have a leaf platform which is non-spawnable, and that's where the farm's going to be. Now I did do that at level 90 though, and the reason being, instead of going to 91, I thought, you know, it would be an even number, so it would be a little bit better. Oh my goodness, this Enderman's gonna kill me, isn't he? Oh! Okay, this is gonna be a little bit tricky, but I've got to get back here. The way this works is we have enough for 8 snowmen this way, and that, of course, that would mean 2 rows of 8 shulkers, which would be 16 shulkers that can fill this area total. So basically, the first row here, you would have your snowmen, and then your bubble vader, which will prevent the aerial projectiles from getting to the snowmen. Instead of having it flow over, I believe that was causing an issue where it no longer counted as a shulker projectile, which is why I couldn't keep shulkers in the farm in the Forever Bedrock world. So by doing away with that, you just have a shulker here, a water source, snowmen here. So if we have shulkers here, then underneath all these spots where the shulkers, that's wrong. So you have your snowmen, your water source, and your shulkers, water source, snowmen, right? So underneath all these spots where the shulkers are, you want to have rails, because that's what you need to pick up. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for a total of 16. Now, these are actually probably the best way to do this would be to have as many hoppers as possible. I did not bring powered rails with me, unfortunately. I really should have. But so I'm going to have to go back to the overworld yet again, because I don't have any redstone with me either. The rest of this could, these other 4 spots can be hoppers, which we can run into some chests here. Even better, we can just do a powered rail on each end and go ahead and get these in so that we don't have to worry about not being able to reach them later. So now once we get everything built, we'll come back and we will make sure that we button everything up, because everything has to be non-spawnable. Essentially, the farm's going to be at this height right here, right? That's so we'll be able to fit under here, but unless we do an open concept here at the bottom, we won't actually necessarily be able to reach these chests. I'll just make it where you can come in both sides at both ends, and if I need to help get the shulkers active or whatever by my presence, it won't be an issue, because that was a thing that I had to do occasionally on the server now, or on the realm. Now things work a little differently in individual worlds than they do on realms. So you know, if you had problems that I had with the other Shulker Farm, or maybe even not, this one here should work for you the same as it does for me if you're in a single player world. So, and this one here would probably be a little more realm friendly as well. Now we're going to use trapdoors to hold our snowmen in place down here. Our water invaders will be here. The snowmen will shoot through it at the shulkers to aggro them, and of course they'll be shooting at the snowmen. But by using trapdoors to hold the snowmen in place, they're always lined up so that there is a snowman at each and every shulker that can populate this thing. So, and if anything goes wrong, we have the whole rest of the end city there to get shulkers from. Basically, I'm going to take that out, put this here. We're going to be using this as our base. So that would be, we only want everything too high, right? And everything's going to be capped off with slabs on the top, or we could even use just the glass top. And we want same here. Give it a nice clean look no matter where you're looking at it from. Whoa. And go here like this. And that's essentially pretty much what we're going to go for. And I think what we're going to do is go ahead and run glass here too, so you can see from outside of the farm. I think that would be really, really... Ooh. Oh, those are too expensive to just use like that. But I think that would be a really, really cool way to do it this time. I want to make it... My goal was to make it so that we can see as much as possible inside this thing from many different angles, not just where we're at. We're going to use cobblestone. Cobblestone will work just fine. Take that piece out. There, now our shulkers can definitely get in there. And as I said, we just kind of want to make it so we can see in here as easily as possible, right? So as much glass as we can. So when we're out here, we got a good little view. I'm going to have to do some kind of safety railing or something for my own sanity with this thing, but for the time being, that's pretty much it. This is pretty much the mock-up. I'm gonna get everything pretty much done, and when we get ready to move a shulker in, I'm gonna bring you guys back, or this video is gonna be super, super long. All right, I wanted to bring you guys in for the oh no for the last part of this, and it looks like I made a boo-boo. We got one shulker in there already. For some reason, I only brought X amount of snow golems, which wasn't as many as, or 16 snow instead of 32 to make the 16 snow golems. And see, they went straight into the farm. They didn't even hit the little checkpoints here. But basically, the really cool thing about this is we can do this number, and now it's basically a shulker reloader over on the one side here. And by doing this, you don't have to worry about them being able to attack you or anything, and they'll only spawn on the one side of the block, so you can easily remove the leaves, take out the block, and move them into the system. The idea is hopefully they won't teleport to those before there is, you know, an extra shulker or whatever. Like, we want 2 in here at all times. If he keeps damaging himself, then we won't get a duplicate shulker, and that was the problem with what we had before. So we want that guy down there to start shooting this way. See if we can come underneath and do any enticing from down here. Oop. Do not want to use spawnable blocks to pillar up on. So we're going to do this number. And those projectiles have to hit while the shulker is open in order to do anything for us. These not spilling over like they were before, so these projectiles don't hit the water and come back to the shulkers. But it seems like it may be doing that anyways. Not really sure how that's gonna, if that's gonna make the changes to it that we were looking for or not. But I can basically just stand here in AFK and nothing. I mean, we're out in the end. There's nothing out here to bother us or anything. So I'm gonna watch this for a little bit and see what happens. I've been playing around with this for several hours now, and as you can see, I've made all but 6 slots inactive, and I've gone from 3 to 4 shulkers plus some in reserves, which we have none in reserves right now. But there seems to be a lot of inconsistencies, like them being able to track you through the glass kind of comes and goes, as well as the snowman's AI is just hit or miss on whether they're attacking or not. There's just a lot of inconsistencies. The only consistency that I found is one of these spots where I accidentally let a snowman get killed was if I'm down here next to some shulkers in this little area, then they'll combat back and forth or whatever, and then they'll split and reproduce and all the fun stuff that we need them to do, right? So we got several of them right there right now, and I have to be very careful because I did have one teleport on that log the second I got up at one point. But and I have gotten hit with shulker bullets, so I've been trying to stay out from underneath open areas so I don't end up aimlessly floating up to the void if I'm not paying attention, or over the void if I'm not paying attention. But yeah, other than what may be in the chest now, it's probably like a dozen in the chest or so, I would say. We got a stack and 7. So I mean, this way seems to do much better than the whole length of the farm. So I'm thinking if I was to do this design again, I would probably just keep the snowmen out and just make it too wide through here. And in the middle of the 2 sides, I would have myself. And the only problem with that is you would need at least you know, a couple shulkers on each end to get the farm started. Of course, they would have the ability to teleport back and forth between the 2 ends and so forth, so forth. So I mean, you could technically, if it wasn't too big of an area, just do some on one end and let the other end get populated as it goes or whatever. And I may end up making this something like that at a later time if need be. But as you can see, like, we're, you know, back down to 2, and I'm not sure, let's go take a peek, if the missing one went into the reloader or if, you know, it's just gone, because it tends to go both ways. Yeah, it's just gone. So the whole thing with the water bubble, the bubble vaders, like sending it back and taking them out and not counting as a shulker kill from another shulker, I think that is still happening, or it's just buggy, and that wasn't the issue at all. Other than what I was just saying I would do, I would say that the other design I had with the water flowing in, I mean, it seemed to work better than this. Maybe on a, if I shrunk that down a little bit or put more shulkers in it at a time and got it crunk up to begin with, it would probably be okay. But yeah, this is something that we may come back to and figure out how to, once I've come up with a different design that is a little bit more reliable, I guess. So for the time being, this is what we got, and it's gonna do for now. But long term, I'm not really sold on it, just because of the changes that we talked about. Something we haven't done in a while that I would like to get back into, our comment for today from the last video. It might be nice to mix in some mossy cobbles on the Villager Hotel. And yes, that was a good eye. I meant to go back and do that, and I didn't, but I will right after I get done. I can do that while I'm waiting on this episode to process and all that. Will having all the beds there affect the village center? Rocket Bug 5977. Well, I'm pretty sure that all those beds in the Villager Hotel rebuilt is going to affect the village center to some degree or whatever. However, we're not really worried about that because those villagers up there were not really doing anything with. They're just to help add life to the world. And none of the villagers here in our villager trading area are, linked to them beds in any way, shape, or form. So we don't have to worry about any of that down here. And if it does at some point become an issue, because this is Bedrock Edition and we have discovered a lot of issues in this episode. But if that does become an issue, then, we'll definitely figure something different out, maybe relocate these villagers or, to a deeper area so that they're, the 100 blocks away or whatever. Shouldn't be too hard. Something, we'll figure something out if that occurs and it becomes an issue. But I'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking out today's episode. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you're not already subscribed, please do so. It helps the channel out a lot. And I will see each and every one of you in the next video.